Water is undeniably fundamental to life, providing refreshment and quenching thirst. It sustains ecosystems, supports agriculture, and is essential for human survival and well-being. However, when mismanaged, water can become a force of devastation. Floods, often resulting from poor infrastructure or environmental negligence, can lead to loss of life, displacement, and significant economic damage. In September 2023, the Akosombo Dam, a cornerstone of Ghana's energy and water supply, became the very reason why disaster struck. As water levels surged dangerously high, the Volta River Authority was faced with a dilemma: act decisively to prevent a catastrophe or risk unmanageable flooding.
If the dam collapses, anything along the path of the water will be washed deep into the ocean in a microsecond.
On September 15th, they initiated a controlled spillage, a measure that would lead to far-reaching consequences for countless communities both up and downstream.
The Volta Lake is the world's third largest man-made lake by volume. All right, and it has about 148 cubic kilometers of water. So that's a lot of water. A lot of people are just seeing it in the news. Oh, people have been displaced. But until you start seeing the graphic images, you wouldn't know how crazy it is.
It's one of the most devastating things I've seen in a very long time.
When you construct the dam, the designers have what we call the capacity, the limit at which the dam can retain whatever pressures it has as the water, hydrostatic pressures. So the base of the dam is rather wide. As it comes to the top, it narrows to a certain length or the width. So the designer will tell you that at this capacity, the dam cannot contain the pressure any longer.
Next to Abadiwe is New Bakpa. So we get to New Bakpa, we go to Abadiwe, and now we've crossed to the island. And my tour guide tells me that the water came up as high as some of the mango trees.
The devastation here from the spillage of the Akosombo Dam is visible.
For the past 3 days, we had sleepless nights.
The only means you can access your home is to use the canoe.
Were you giving any prior information? Were you warned before the spillage?
No. There is no this thing given to us.
We just wake up one morning and all the building was submerged into the water.
Communities downstream were warned, but little could prepare them for the sheer force of nature that was about to unfold. As the spillage commenced, the worst fears were realized. Waters rushed into towns, swallowing homes, schools, and healthcare facilities.
We used to initially access water from the main river over there, but due to the spillage, we can no more access the water from the other side, and we've been disconnected from using the electricity we have in our town, which is a source of pumping the pipe that we get drinking water from. So as it stands, there's no drinking water in town. And we are calling on government to bring us drinking water and food, because the food vendors cannot come out and sell for us because they don't even know where to locate theirs. They are saving their lives, and they've left all their food stuff inside the room, and the water has come to take over from there. So it is making it so difficult for us to even get food and good drinking water. Since last night, I've not taken water.
We have a terrible situation in Blakusu now. Blakusu, let me say, 2/3 of the population is now into water. Their buildings are in water now.
Then when the water come and remove us, we climb the top of this in our house. There is no place where we shall pack our anything. So we are just on top of the sunshine, and the sunshine also disturbing us.
Right now, I don't know where I'm going, but precisely I wanted to move to Sege area. There is a village before Sege, so I wanted to move to that place. Maybe that place will be safer than where I am.
I've been affected just yesterday. My whole house has been flooded or submerged.
Scenes of devastation played out across the country as families struggled to save what little they could. The emotional toll was palpable.
This morning, as you can see, this is the road to Mafi, Devime. But when getting to Devime, you have to cross 2 different creeks before you get there. It's as a result of the spillage. And the situation as of now is that our people have lost their livelihood. As you see it here, it has gone to all the places. If you go here, the whole place is swampy. So they've lost bands of maize, they've lost granite, they've lost cassava, and everything. They have come to a knot. Those that are fishermen cannot go for fishing. I am a member of parliament. My district chief executive is there. I have assembly members, and they've all claimed that they've not been engaged. Then who have you engaged?
In the chaos that followed, the Ghanaian community spirit shone through. Local media outlets like 97.3 CDFM and ChannelOne TV mobilized their listeners and audiences, soliciting donations for all those in need.
Because the spillage could be more, there could be more devastation, and so you're going to have more people who will need these things. So we feel, apart from water and food, if people could send beds, maybe student mattresses,
okay,
and then blankets, because people are sleeping outside. So that's the third thing. So you have water, you have food, you have beddings, which is mattresses and
mosquito nets,
and then in detergents. The Momo number is 0550900006.
The number again,
0550900006. So that's our Momo number to send money to donate. This is CTFM Foundation trying to rally support so that we will send as much as we get to the people, and hopefully we'll save some lives and will help people to recover from the devastation they've gone through.
We are making a 10,000 donation.
Wow.
Serious discounts and
immediate donation of 30,000 Ghana cedis.
Immediate donation. Sky. Immediate is 30. The long term.
If you're a doctor, you want to donate, you can call us on this number. What we'll do is that, it's a professional practice. So we will give your name to the doctors in charge so that they can validate your we don't want any problems.
Truckloads of food, clothing, and basic necessities were dispatched into communities like Salaga, Buipe, Afram Plains North, and more, where desperation ran high.
coal pots.
Aha, ke akodo na jole, me pi akodo jole dia.
Bags of rice.
Alebe molu ala kotoku me mi cover.
Sanitary pads.
Aha, you know nyebe tafla che nyongo do hia ni a ni godivi o mi dona na mi do hia ni amada kuku mi ko kama have.
Detergents.
Alebe ni o kam yatenwa ko clocher, jale pe no viao.
Bags of gari.
Alebe mi onto mi nya ho ne over gari enyanwa. Alebe mi kokotoku ado ove. Gali.
Behind me under the shed, you see the community members who have been displaced from homes like these ones, which have been completely submerged or totally submerged or partially submerged. They've had to either live with the water or flee and then find a place to stay. Upon hearing that City FM and City TV is arriving to deliver relief items, they have assembled at this particular shed to receive the items.
The scale of the disaster was staggering. Entire towns like Asasewa, Esujaman, Mepe, Bando, and many others were submerged, with over 30,000 people displaced. The government dispatched teams to assess the damage, but the challenges ahead were daunting. Many communities were left without basic amenities, and the path to recovery seemed long. The voices of those affected tell powerful stories of resilience and hope amidst the backdrop of despair.
The situation here, what did they report to you? And I'm sure you would have come here a number of times already.
Yes, I was here last week Wednesday. I was called by one of them, even he's coming now, that they were affected by the spillage. So I came here to see things to myself. Actually, when I came, some of them were on the table, on the water. So from there, we tried to get to everyone who matters.
To help.
Yes, to help.
Did you have some guests occupying the...
Fortunately, there was no guests around then. That's our decision. There was no guests around then. But most of our properties were, they were under the water.
Because of the water, all the city is full of water. We cannot stand. If we crash, enter our room. When we sleep, we wake up. You see that I have a small child. If not God, because of God help me, my child would die.
Oh, they are currently sleeping in the classrooms. We've allocated some of the classrooms for them. So they are currently sleeping there. So we gave them mattresses, blankets, mosquito coils, buckets, soaps, and drinking water. Yeah.
You've been cautioned that this water is contaminated.
We know. But as we don't have any water around, we decided not to go further, but to use this one.
Actually, when it is affected, the whole building have collapsed. People lost their farm, their animals, and then other properties. So it's a very serious situation on the ground.
But do you still have people who are living on this island?
Yes, few people are still living on the island.
So we have medications from anti-malarials to hematinics to antibiotics to analgesics. All of these are some of the medications that we have brought in. So we would interact first with the local people, and then we know exactly what is wrong with them.
We are only a media house. We are not into construction. Neither are we into anything that looks like what we see here. But one day, once upon a time, we woke up and there was disaster that has struck this country, and more than the numbers we heard were affected. And this disaster has taken us to various parts of this country, from the north to the middle belt to the south. We've been through Eastern region, Greater Accra region, Volta region, Yape, Kusou, and all these places we've been there, delivering goodwill and hope and items to people. Nobody ever woke up one day to pray that there should be disaster, no. But you know, it is written that every man that is born of woman is of few days and full of troubles. And that's scripture. But nobody prays for trouble. And so when we saw that trouble had struck, we used our medium to encourage our listeners to provide the means so we can be of help. Indeed, this whole enterprise of helping, in fact, the action we took, I must admit, was prompted by the MC Umaru Sanda Amadou, because he directed us to a Suchare first. And we loaded our trucks and we got to a Suchare, not knowing that getting to a Suchare was going to actually become the beginning of our journey.
Resettlement centers were established in Topo, Adan East, and Bando Toko, with Mepe receiving a health center and New Bakba receiving a toilet facility and a market center to help restore livelihoods and promote recovery.
The land that we are giving you today is part of the land that we are using for accommodation purposes.
So this is Adan East District Assembly, just behind the assembly, where the assembly has demarcated land for us, half an acre of land given to the City FM and City TV team for the construction of this dormitory project that we are putting up here.
When we came here, we brought cooking pots that they say. We brought coal pots, we brought mosquito nets, we brought bankudade. Our thinking was that the disaster had taken off their livelihoods. It wasn't just to come and donate and go. But upon arrival, we noticed that they were sleeping in what was supposed to be classroom blocks. No doors, no windows, floors made of concrete, no bathrooms, no washrooms, nothing. This is the definition of a disaster. So ours was in the shortest time. What do? After giving them food, now we give them food. We give them food, people bring food to the extent that they have nowhere to store the food. So we are creating another problem from the problem. So in the short term, ours is to try and replicate what they have here in a more decent way. And that's why we put together our drawings to put up a kind of holding center. And that holding center, it will take us 1 month to build it. Doing this to the glory of God and to encourage other corporates to do same in other affected communities. It is one nation, one country, one people.
No, there's no problem with water here. So after this,
Please continue.
So remember, I was talking to you about a whole local economy, picking up because of this project, and you see people selling to the workers here, and the workers are also being paid through this project, so boosting the economy, which because of the disaster dwindled a bit. I have noticed something. I've seen a little lovely boy, Dennis he says it's called, and he's come here to the construction site to do some business. Do you go to school now, or because of the floods you're not in school? You are going to school, but your school is where they are housing the people who were affected. So when do you go to school? You learn under the trees. Wow, you take me to where you're learning. But what are you selling here? Can I look? What do you want to do when you grow up?
I want to be a pilot.
A pilot? Wow. Okay, so a pilot, you have to speak up. So you're selling bamboo. So how much is a chicken?
5 cents.
Okay. So when did you start selling here?
Last week.
Last week. Mommy noticed there was a construction happening here.
Yes.
So we're buying everything for you today. Is that exciting? How much do you think everything will be? Every food here, I'm buying it today to give to the workers. So you can go home and read your books. How much is everything?
I'm selling some food. The soup is 50 cents.
Everything is 50.
This one 50. This
Okay.
one 50.
Okay.
And this one 30 cents. Sell some.
Okay, so this is, you said one is 2 CDs, right? This is 150 CDs, 50 CDs, 100 CDs, yes.
20.
And this is 20 CDs.
120.
So 120. So it's supposed to be 120, but we're giving you 200 CDs to take care of everything, so that you can go home and read your books, right?
So on the 6th of November 2023, the MP for Pando, together with the MP for South Dai, came on the City Breakfast Show with a distress call that while our attention was focused on the people southwards of the Volta, there was another crisis happening on the upstream side. Places like Germany, all the way to Wusuta and Pando Toko had flooding incidents, possibly because the spill had reduced. Today, the 3rd of February, we are here at Pando Toko to launch the 3rd of our resettlement shelters for people displaced by flooding here at Pando Toko. It's an 8-dormitory, over 200-person capacity facility to house initially people temporarily displaced by the flooding, and of course be used for auxiliary purposes in the future as part of the City Foundation's efforts to mitigate the suffering of people affected by flooding in the Volta Basin.
The Akosombo Dam spillage of 2023 serves as a stark reminder of the delicate balance between nature and human infrastructure.
If the dam collapses, anything along the path of the water will be washed deep into the ocean in a microsecond.
As communities rise from the waters, they carry with them the strength of unity, resilience, and hope for a better future. We at ChannelOne TV and 97.3 CDFM extend our deepest heartfelt gratitude to everyone who contributed to making the various interventions possible. From individuals who walked into our offices to donate, to corporate institutions that gave in cash or kind, you made this possible. Thank you.